And don't turn it off. We're going to be checking
Yes!
like
Oh
every
my
10
God.
minutes.
Somebody turn it off?
Yeah, the last show.
Awesome.
Greetings, folks. Welcome to the BLIPcast, Boring Lives of Interesting People podcast, episode 30. I'm Daniel.
And I am Katie, Lady Laumes, Kaos with a K, Mezmiro, the 22nd PhD, a.k.a. the new little K.
And joining us today is Dan.
Hello.
Do you want to add anything beyond Dan?
No?
Dan, no. From the MHCP podcast, as well as some other stuff.
Everything.
I'm
As
from...
well as from everything, right? So
Mhm.
CNN, he's also
Yeah.
from Hustler. He was a centerfold. He plays on the Knicks. He is Stevie Nicks.
He's very talented.
I am
He's
Stevie Nicks.
He is every and all thing. Stevie Nicks, can you tell us about Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, we're breaking up next summer.
Shit, I thought you just got back together.
No.
Is it Fleetwood? Is it because you banged everyone in the band, apparently? According to Jimmy Pardo.
Well, okay, so there were complications.
From
we
surgery?
got... no, we got together, and he beat me.
He is a drummer. That's what they do.
Mhm.
Are you sure it wasn't a coke fueled
It might have been a
nightmare?
rage. It might have been.
Okay. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and say you had it coming. But-
Probably.
What are the things you actually do, not Stevie Nicks?
Well, I am on the MHCP podcast, Metal Hardcore Punk. I'm also starting several other podcasts.
I know that one.
Yeah. One is launching sometime this week called Dan Sucks. It's actually about how much I suck.
There's a whole podcast
At
about
every-
why
The
you're
whole
awful?
podcast.
Yes, I have lots of content in that.
What does that consist of? Can you, because this is probably a couple of days before this goes up. What?
Well, there it's I suck on several different levels. Well, over the summer I worked on the new game Call of Duty Ghosts. I probably shouldn't say that because that will probably get my butt kicked.
You
But
can say ass.
We curse a lot on this.
Fuck.
I can
Fine.
say fuck twice.
You can say
Fuck,
fuck.
fuck.
twice.
Oh,
Fuck.
we're at a quota.
Damn it.
Damn it, Katie.
No, well, so my friends tell me I suck, and then when my friends and I get together, they tell me I suck because I do terrible things, like how on my first podcast, the pilot coming out, I don't know how to introduce my girlfriend. I do
It
it
happens.
very,
It's
very
pretty sad.
poorly.
Twice.
Twice in the same episode.
I mean, if you listen to How Did This Get Made, Paul Scheer and June and Raphael are married, and he never alludes to it, and it sounds very awkward every single time. June
Yeah.
and Raphael, how are you? I'm doing well, Paul. How are you?
Actually, yeah, no, actually, I didn't know that when I first listened to it,
Mhm.
and I started listening to it more. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they're married. So I googled it on Bing, and I couldn't, and I
Wait,
did find it.
Hold on. You
What?
Googled it on Bing.
He went to Google, searched Bing, then from there went to Bing and looked it up. It's normal.
Is that not what you do?
I ask Jeeves usually.
To Bing it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Jeeves, how can you Bing something for me? And it's like,
And then
Found
it
it.
and then it gives you the let me Google that for you link.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Layers to this thing. This is, of course, after I'm signing into AOL
Yes.
5
Um,
with my CD.
do you still have minutes?
Not anymore. Uploading these things takes up my entire...
Takes all your
month.
minutes.
Exactly.
God, how long would it take to upload a podcast?
On
On
old
AOL.
AOL, back when it was dial-up.
Yeah.
Fuck,
At least
ages.
at least a year, right?
It amazes me that anything was on that internet.
internet.
Looking back, like anything that you could stream music, what like little videos there were.
A picture of a pornographic scene.
Mm-hmm. A picture of it.
Hair, eyes, boobs.
Then I'm done.
Yeah,
Man, that's-
I'm not going. It's
Does
like
it-
2
wait,
hours right there.
Does it go like hair, eyes, and then straight to boobs?
No,
They edit
you're
out
just not
chin.
really interested in this part.
Oh, okay.
They usually edit out the neck anyway.
Okay.
I'm not a strangler. So, I don't know. It's an interesting how far we've gotten from AOL days.
Mm-hmm. Though, back in my day, You couldn't be on the phone and on the internet at the same time.
Nope. I remember. Sadly, it's from my day as well.
So you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suck.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is it other people coming on and giving you reasons why you suck?
Pretty much.
That happened, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so the first episode, the pilot, is me and 8 of my friends, including my girlfriend that I can't introduce. And
Apparently not, because I'm sitting right next to you. And
It's got awkward. Just gonna stew it. Why didn't you introduce her?
I made it weird with Pete Holmes.
So what? Are you guys now? Let's talk about in order: sex, religion. What's the third thing?
Comedy.
Comedy.
Yep. Comedy, sex, religion. Yeah.
That's life.
That's Pete Holmes. It's weird.
He made it that way.
He made it that way. No, I mean that's essentially what it is. Except for I'm not going to go by that much of a volume or standard, because I just want people to come on and talk to me. I want to have a conversation because
buddy, if you want, I'll talk to you. We don't have to record it.
I don't do friendships. I do 1 hour friendships, and I call them podcasts.
I don't see Katie unless there's a microphone.
It's very
whether
true.
it's
Really?
on Far
Yeah.
Down Metal or here.
like the most we do is like a show somewhere in San Francisco. I think that's like the most we've hung out outside of doing a podcast in probably 2 years.
Yeah, front a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only show I can think of too.
Mhm. And then the comedy
Oh yeah.
thing, yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
are terrible friends.
We are really
should
bad
work
friends.
on that.
Yeah.
Katie, let's hang out sometime without microphones.
Okay.
Or cameras.
Okay.
I like the camera anyway. I don't like the camera anyway. 'Cause I'm looking at you.
Well, but it's small and cute and dainty, and it looks very nice. I'll hang out with you, Cameron.
It's stealing your soul right now.
Well, you have to have a soul.
I had one 29 episodes ago.
You have a lot, actually. Didn't
A lot
you
of
like
soul?
take a whole bunch of souls in high school?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went through this phase in high school when I got people to give me their souls, and even had some people sign stuff for, I don't know, like borrowing money like you did during lunchtime, or just annoying people. Like there were some people that wouldn't do it just because, and they eventually would crack. I got yours, right?
I think so, but I don't remember what I gave it up for.
I don't either.
Memory.
Yeah.
The memory of
that would do
giving it
it.
up.
Yep. That explains so much.
What would you sell your soul for? Not to take
I don't
over and
know.
ask the questions myself, but I want to know.
Don't
I
remember.
don't know.
As the would you be the merchant in this situation? As the recipient of the soul, I don't remember the
Well, no,
transaction
I'm the
either.
yeah. I guess I'm the supplier of the soul.
Yeah.
You
You should really keep a receipt for all your
I
transactions.
should.
Otherwise, you could report it.
what would a receipt for a soul look like?
Well, I used to have people actually write down soul and then sign it. So that's what they
Really?
looked
You
like for
did
me.
that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had Christine's like that, I think.
Do you do gift wrapping?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And I also supply boxes.
Nice.
But I don't have those like little popcorn kernel things. So if you want to ship it, you may want to look for bubble wrap elsewhere.
Right.
But if you bring it back, I'll totally wrap it.
What happens when your soul gets damaged during like shipping?
If we can sell it, we'll put a sticker on it that says has been inspected and is cool to sell. But
Mhm.
we may send it back to the manufacturer.
Do you
Okay.
refurbish?
You can, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'd prefer not to because it's man hours then, and then may go into overtime.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So cost, overhead.
Yep, exactly. I know to run business.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Anyway, your podcast.
This is basically what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
it's. I want to sit down with all my friends when like SF Sketchfest is coming up soon, and I want to get a couple people that I don't normally see, like from LA and New York. I want to get them on the podcast and just sit down, talk to them, and pretty much put our relationship out in the public, because what's the
Sounds
point
like
of
you're gonna fuck them.
Yeah.
what's the point of having anything private nowadays? That's what I say.
So it's just gonna be you and Ron Funches cuddling. Hot.
Yeah.
God, I just want to see that.
I'm probably taller than him. Would I be the big spoon or the little spoon? I think no matter what, I have to be the little spoon, right?
I think so.
Okay, gotcha.
And no matter what, you're getting candy in the end.
Yes. Skittles.
When I saw him, he had Crackle.
Hit crackle.
I think I caught one. They was fucking good. That was at Stella at Sketchfest 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he play at Sketchfest last year? Or 2 years ago?
He was part of Stella's thing, because Stella, Michael Ian Black, Showalter, and David Wayne, they do like a
okay.
stand-up event or an evening So
Okay.
it was he opened it. Then they had a kind of a shitty band playing the whole time, and then I don't remember most of the other people, but it wound up being Brent Weinbach, Bobcat Goldthwait, and Matt Besser. Maybe.
Bobcat. Matt Besser, one of the most courageous and awesome improv actors in the world. Obviously, I cannot speak.
It's fine. I mean, if you have speaking issues, you clearly have multiple podcasts,
Yeah.
as I do.
Yeah, exactly.
I use up all my skills on my shows. That way, when I talk to people, I don't know how to
Talk to
Yes.
people.
talk. Yes, right. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, I want to. I can finish up by saying I want to get my friends on just to interview and have a conversation and put the people that may not be known out there in the world to kind of help them push them along. I'm not saying that I have the biggest name out there to do this with, but I think I have somewhat of something and I want to use it for good. More than evil.
More than evil. A little bit of evil, though.
There's
of
evil.
course.
No, there's evil. It's just I want to.
Because there's people that are gonna come back and be like, "Hey, I was on this thing," and they're gonna like pick you up a little bit. So you're like, "Ah."
Put that on your resume. No, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. We want to. I think. Yeah, we're pretty soon. I'm hesitant to say why or when, but we're gonna be starting a YouTube channel.
Cool.
With the same group of people. Katie involved.
These 8 people that think you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if they can tell me I suck, I can tell them what to do while they're on camera. So
Makes sense.
It's an even trade. But with the YouTube coming up, it should be fun. So look out for that.
Cool. And we'll throw up a link or something like that once it goes up for the
That'd be cool.
8 people that watch or listen to this. So. I don't
That's
remember
enough.
how many-
Yeah,
I don't remember how many
8
anymore.
plus 8, 16. We're good.
Yeah, totally. Guys, speaking of podcasts, I was on one that wasn't mine.
Oh, yeah.
I heard.
Yes. I was on an episode with Doug Loves Minis.
That's awesome.
It was so awkward. Because Doug Benson did 2 shows in Sacramento, and I wound up going to both of them. And the stand-up
If you
show,
go to one, you can't not go to the second one.
well, I'd planned to go to the Douglas Movies podcast, and then a friend gave me a ticket to go to the other one because she couldn't go. So I was like, I'll go. So I went ahead and went, and you know he plays the Leonard Maltin game at the end of all his shows. No one else seemed to know that.
Really?
Yeah, I was the only person that had a name tag.
Really?
That had like one,
Yeah.
a nice one. Other people were like, give me a pen, and made one out of
Oh,
napkins.
God. Okay.
So I'm waving since I went solo, which I would not recommend at comedy shows, even though it's not really a community event kind of thing. Because movies you can go to alone because you're supposed to sit in a dark room, stare in the same direction, and be quiet. Same with comedy. However, all their tables are set up for pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they put me in the very back at a bar with all the other solo people.
That is punchline. That's punchline. Because we were actually, Katie and I were talking about this the other day. I specifically do comedy alone because I will sit in the back by myself and take notes, or I'll sit up front, and if I know the comedian, he'll either talk to me or we'll do something, but I'll sit right in front and just kind of enjoy. But yeah, no, I like comedy by myself. It's being a comedian, which nobody probably knows. Being a comedian, I like to go and observe and take notes in my head and kind of just figure out what they're doing and what I can compare it to my set.
Cool.
And just kind of pick up techniques. So I like comedy by myself.
I did like it, except for that part where I first walk in, and then they're just like, "You are here," and the guy I was sat next to was like, "Hi, I'm Mike." I was like, "All right, Mike, that's cool."
So yeah, I get it. It's awkward.
So I was the only name tag I was waving, and I almost wasn't seen. And then they finally see this paper waving around the back, and I get up there, and it's Ngai Obilum, and Doug Benson and I. And the category was Talk to the Hand. If you're a fan of the show, it's movies with sign language in it. I had no idea what the fuck movie it was. He gave me the categories, and I thought it was this movie called What's the Worst That Could Happen with Martin Lawrence and Danny DeVito. I was like, if he says anywhere around the mid-2000s, early mid, I'm going to say -2 names. I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And then he said 86, and I was like, shit. I think on stage, you hear me go, fuck.
Sign language. 86. What was it?
I have no idea what it was called. I don't remember. I'd never heard of it. It was based on a play, and when he said it was adapted from a play, and Guy went, oh. And I went, damn it, he knows it. So he wound up getting it, and he said 5 names, and I told him to name it. And before Doug said any, he said what the movie was. And then he went like 3 deep just for kicks.
Oh, what a jerk face. What an ass.
But the most uncomfortable part of it was while I was there, Benson was like, does anyone else have a name tag? And when he said it, this guy who wrote it down in a napkin, I was like, I do, and ran up on stage. So he's just standing there next to me, and I was just, hey. And Benson's like, oh, you got a name tag? Yeah, I wrote it. He's like, what are you doing here? And eventually just told him to leave, and it was so uncomfortable. But then when I lost, he's like, you're the only one, so you can go ahead and have the prize bag. So, guys, here's my prize bag. I got Gateway Doug.
Nice.
I got Douglas Movies t-shirt.
I think I saw you gram that yesterday.
Yes. I've wanted one of these for a while.
No, that's awesome.
And then
I was jealous.
the Friday poster, which is nothing but references to the movie Friday, which I fucking love the movie Friday. So
That's
good.
awesome.
By, what is it? Cute Streak Designs. So check them out, and I let them know that I got it and enjoyed it, and we're Twitter pals now.
Nice. Oh, he was yeah, he was just talking about those. He has like a stack of posters that he's going to give like one out a show.
Yep.
And then once they're gone, they're pretty much gone. So yeah, definitely go check them out. That's
She has a lot of
awesome.
really cool ones too. Like the one he gave away at the Douglas Movies taping was had a ferret on it. It said "Nice Marmot," and it was for Big Lebowski. So that one was fucking super cool too.
Nice.
So that was really fun. And also with that, I won 4 tickets to Ngaio's New Year's Eve event, which I could not go to. You guys did.
Mm-hmm. That was very good.
We did. Yeah, actually, Ngaio's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a few years.
Claims he doesn't know your name though.
No, he doesn't. And even he smokes a lot of weed.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I said hi, and I was like, oh, Dan. He's like, oh, and he gave me a big hug, and we were like, oh, it's cool. And then I realized that, I even tweeted about him. I just realized that the first time I ever saw you was 2 New Years ago. 2 New Year's Eve ago, so this was kind of like an anniversary, and I hashtagged it Creeper.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't respond.
No, he didn't respond. But he saw me after the show, and we said hi. We had to bounce, but it was cool. It was definitely really cool. I thank you.
Yeah, no problem. The first time I encountered him was at a Douglas Movies from 2 years ago. And then, like, 7 months later, I was at Guar. And he was there in all white,
Of course he was.
in an all-white suit. And I was in the front row covered in blood. And I was like, okay, I'm over Guar. Because Guar is an experience. It's not a great show, like, musically.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, I'm covered in blood. They're about to come out with the semen. I'm going to bail. So I was leaving. I was on my way to the bathroom, and I saw him. I was like, oh, shit, dude. And I shook his hand. I was like, yeah, I saw you with Doug Benson. It was awesome. He's like, cool. And I patted him on the back and walked away. And I turned around, and my handprint was on his back. And I was like, I hope he was planning on getting dirty. But
I feel like Ngaio is well versed in his music. I think he knew what he was doing.
oh, I hope so.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, just in case. Ngaio, my bad.
But Guar is epic, man. They do all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never been to a show, but I've always wanted to.
You've never ever been to a show?
Not a Guar show.
Okay. I recommend it. Their openers are never going to be good.
No.
When I saw them, it was
They're not going to be Guar.
right. It's like whoever's opening for Iron Maiden. They're just in the way. So, like when I saw them, it was some shitty band from Australia, Cancer Bats, who I wound up enjoying.
You sound nice.
Because
Cancer Bats is badass.
They did a cover of Intergalactic. No, yeah, Intergalactic.
Mm-hmm.
Sabotage. It was Sabotage by BC Boys. And then Devil Driver, who I cannot stand.
Devil Driver?
I don't like Devil
Yeah.
Driver. Favorite
I don't
moment
like
from that
Devil
show?
Driver.
I was on the rail, and I was sitting like this on the rail, just spacing out, and I look up, and Dez, the vocalist, who was also in Cold Chamber, is just like looking at me. He's like gives me a shrug, and I shrug back at him. And he kind of like gives me a nod and goes back to doing the show. He was like, "What are you doing?" I'm waiting for Guar. I understand.
That's awesome.
And then
Yeah,
Guar happened.
Guar happened. And that's exactly what they do. They happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole new world.
I interviewed
won't sing
Dave Brockie right before Odorous,
Oh, really?
and he's like, "Do you want character? Or do you want me?" I was like, "Whatever you want." He's like, "I'm more comfortable with the character." So he was not in the suit, but he was still, yeah, I'm from space, blah blah blah. It's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Your show, you get some. We've actually shared guests, and I was like, first time I heard about that, I was like, that's awesome, because we are very very new, but we've had some pretty awesome people, especially from Sacramento. Journal is still my favorite band. Not even out of Sacramento. They're one of my favorite bands ever.
Great, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's awesome.
I used to be a metal director at KSSU, so anytime they were like, "We have interviews," I was like, "I want interviews." So since then, it's kind of slowed down, but God, those are the days.
Those are the days.
Katie, you remember when I was cool?
Aww. It's okay. You're still cool.
So how was your guys' New Year's?
It was good.
Very mellow.
Yeah.
Good.
We just went to the show and came back, and he played with his mixer.
Yeah.
Have you played with it anymore?
Before the show, yeah, I did. Before the show, I went and I ordered a new mixer to be a professional.
Hey. I have air quotes too.
And yeah, so we messed around with that. Watched some. What did we watch that night?
I don't even remember. I don't think we actually watched anything, because...
TV was off.
Yeah.
Just staring at a blank TV.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Cool.
I think it was because I was playing with Jet, and he was just messing around
My
with his
puppy.
mixer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're just kind of screwing around because, I don't know.
Go on. The TV wasn't on. You weren't watching anything. You were just screwing around.
Yeah, I was
And
touching.
yet there was a dog loose.
I was touching all the knobs in all the right places. Flipping switches.
It was a pretty eventful night.
Raising volumes.
I always knew Katie was a robot. Katie bot. Katie bot. Lady meow meow, etc. Don't add bot.
No.
Don't add bot.
So is that your mic because it's got your hair all over it?
No, those are his beard hairs.
Oh.
Which is weird because I never used the blue one.
Yeah. I think it's probably because it's like...
Do you have a thing that's
Actually,
blue?
they might be carpet hairs.
I also don't use the red.
Is your carpet shedding?
I get it.
Well, because once you go black, etc. To the listeners, my windscreens are different colors because I bought a 5-pack of colorful ones for some reason.
Which the Guitar Center guy tried to sell me yesterday.
But they weren't there.
They weren't there.
He's like, do you want a colorful one? Oh, they're not there.
Once you go black, you're out of the will?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
That's an Ngayo joke, by the
Yes.
way. Everybody, I have to credit that.
This one does have my beard hairs on it.
Scratch again for just like some good measure. Some good measure. Not even
Just
like...
a little
Just
bit.
a little bit of good measure.
My New Year's
done.
my New Year's Day. No, that was Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve day was spent in San Francisco at the Academy of Sciences.
That's awesome.
I'd never gone before.
How'd you like it?
It was pretty cool. It was smaller than I expected,
Mhm.
and since it was a kind of sort of holiday, it was crowded with kids.
Yeah.
Which I knew was going to happen, but it still ended up being fun. I got to see a bunch of fish,
Mm-hmm.
and since it was the California northern coast area, I was like, oh shit, I'm going to see an otter. No.
No.
I did later see a taxidermy otter and get really sad.
Oh.
But then I pet a bear rug, which was bittersweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool. The rainforest thing was pretty sweet, and how they just have butterflies flying around
Yeah.
and birds and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then what was the other thing? Oh, the planetarium was pretty cool.
Planetarium.
I kept saying planetarium. I fell asleep actually a couple times. I was going in and out like after walking around all day, and we sat in these chairs which reclined just right, and I was like, oh no.
Did you see some cool light shows? Laser shows?
No Pink Floyd, no Rush, laser show, anything like that. Instead, it was cosmic collisions, and was showing them
Ooh.
how things crash into each other, things and create other things.
Mm-hmm.
So like entire nebulas crashing into each other, and then I woke up, and then I went, and then it was like, and then this is how the moon was formed. Then I opened my eyes again, and that was a storm in Jupiter, and then it just kept going in and out. So I don't really remember much of it.
Sounds like you remember the important things.
I remember seeing
The relative things.
I remember seeing Neil deGrasse Tyson's name in the credits
Nice.
because they got the video from New York.
Okay.
place. where
From
he was
the
at.
New York Science Planetarium exhibit.
Something like that. Yeah,
Sure.
I forget.
Well, it's the one he curates, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I listen to Star Talk and he says it every single time, but
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
No,
so.
exactly. Same here. Yeah. Eugene Merman is one of my favorite comedians.
He's my absolute favorite.
Is
comedian.
he?
Yep.
He's probably my top 5, but I always side with Patton Oswalt as my number 1.
That's a good number 1.
He's my favorite. He's one of the nerdiest ones out there, and he's one of the quickest and smartest ones. It's ridiculous how fast he is.
By the way, I have to be a little angry and thankful at you. At you? Yeah, I'm gonna be angry and thankful at
Okay.
you.
Okay.
After we did your show,
Uh-huh.
I started listening to Nerd Poker,
Mm-hmm.
and it has taken over my life.
Are you addicted?
I am. I'm still quite a few episodes behind, but I still knock out like 4 episodes a day sometimes.
Do you know the number that you're at?
I think I'm at 29 or 30 right now,
God.
which wasn't that long ago. If I was listening along with it, but I still knock out a few in a day, and then I'm just like, okay, I need a break, and then like it's Monday, and then all my other podcasts come out. So in between,
You're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
You're gonna have lots of fun.
yeah, I really like it. And Blank Patch is amazing in it.
Blank Patch is amazing in everything.
What was that dead air brought to you by?
Skechers. If you're looking for real shoes, don't get Skechers.
So good.
Yeah, Blank Patch has always been one of those comedians that can just think of stuff right off the top of his head.
Mm.
It's like he'll come up with something topical that was not referenced at any point in that day and just come and just rip it off.
Because it
It's
hasn't been referenced
amazing.
in like 40 years. 'Cause all those references are fucking crazy old.
No, they're crazy old, and then apparently he does a stand-up show every week where it's nothing but topical stuff. It's like a challenge show in LA.
Awesome. I like
It's
that.
ridiculous. But yeah, we were talking about podcasts on my show, and then not too much later, actually it was rather recently, I downloaded one called Competitive Erotic Fan Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've been meaning to check that one out.
It's amazing.
I heard Jordan Morris was on it recently, and I wanted to check it
Oh,
out.
I did not see that one. I'm still at the beginning.
I don't know when it's coming out, but he talked about it on a JJ Go. It could be backlogged or something.
I'm still early in JJ Go. I think you turned me on to that one too. It's good. Actually, I looked up both of the DJs or the hosts, and I was like, they look nothing like their voices.
No, not at all. Jesse
No.
Thorne does not look like
No,
that.
he sounds like an old school radio host.
Mhm.
And he's what, 25, 26? And,
He might be 30 now.
oh, okay. But he's like this tall, goofy dude. I was
Mhm.
like, I would have never guessed. If I saw him on the street, I would have never known that was him.
I love that he also has a menswear blog and is super into fashion. Then you see him in like his super dapper
Yep.
suits, and it's not from here up. It's not a man that you would
Mm-mm.
expect to be
Not
like
at all.
that. But he's actually a big inspiration of mine for all this stuff.
Yeah, I
So-
can see that. He's definitely a good host and a good interviewer and a good voice.
Do you listen to Bullseye?
No.
That's his like NPR show.
Oh,
And
really?
He interviews like musicians and comedians, stuff like that. And it's more serious,
Mm.
but he goes in weird angles with questions and stuff like that. And because of I've tried to base a lot of my interviews off that kind of thing. That's like I was talking to Neil Fallon from Clutch.
I'm being
Rude.
unprofessional right now.
Rude. Let me talk to him. Oh, that's an
It's
alarm.
Um,
Can't talk to an
it's a
alarm.
work alarm.
You're not working, are you?
No, but I was supposed to be.
Ooh, we're not paying you. I should let you know that now.
What? Katie?
Sorry.
Damn it.
But his style is kind of what got me talking to Neil Fallon from Clutch about children's books and beer and Star Wars. So
Yeah.
basically, I just want to avoid the "so how's the new album cycle" whenever I'm talking to
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Good. Cool. Bye.
Well, and yeah, totally, because he's interviewing and he's very professional at interviewing, but at the same time he's also just having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's yeah, I've kind of picked up the same thing. That and Nerdist.
Yes, hard work, totally.
Hardwick is a conversationalist, and he's very, very good at coming up with questions right on the spot. Whereas it sounds just like you're talking to somebody, and that's, I mean, yeah, I picked up both of those. Who's another good interviewer? Definitely not Camille and Emily. They're fun to hang out with, and they're very nice and very sweet. But they have a set thing of things they need to answer, and they need to get to all of them, or else it's broken. And
What have you
then
been playing lately?
yeah. But yeah, it's all my podcasts. I want to just be conversations because that's it's more natural. I think you're gonna get more from your guests that way, and yeah, like you guys are doing right now, basically.
Yeah, Katie, conversate.
That's all we know how to do.
Yeah. No, it's like people are like, so what's your show? It's just talking. Just talking? Yeah, it's great. I like it.
Yeah.
What are podcasts? It's just people talking. So it's like talk radio? Not quite. No.
We had, not to keep plugging my podcast, but we had
I'll plug your podcast with my 3-foot kangaroo dick or whatever it was I said.
No, we had the Greenery on, and they were super sweet guys, but they're very, very nervous, and they're like, we're not very good at this, but we'll give it a shot. And we brought them on, and we had a 30-minute conversation, and they had no idea we were recording. They're like, what? That was an interview? No way. And yet we got all our plugs in. We found out what they were going, what they were doing, how their tour was going, and everything. It's like, that's fun to me.
Cool.
I love it.
I also saw you recently had Ken Mode on.
Yeah, same episode. Ken Mode and the Greenery were both on tour together. That was a sick show. Them, Vanna, and who headlined? Norma Jean.
Oh, that show, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great.
I saw Ken Mode in Austin, and they were like the most intense band I saw while I was there.
The lead singer's insane.
Oh my god, they all are.
But he's super nice, and actually all
They're
three
all
of them
Canadian.
were super
They're Canadian.
nice.
That's why.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was like swallowing his microphone.
Kitty, what's happening?
What'd you do?
Kitty. Jack. Dark shush. Dark shush.
How big's your card?
I don't actually know. It might be on internal memory. Because I know I have a 16 gig in there.
It's big enough.
Yeah.
Greetings, folks. No. What were we talking about? Canada?
Ken Mode?
Canada.
Ken Mode. Yes.
Canadians.
Canadians.
Happy face.
They also crashed on a friend of mine's floor in Portland when they were on tour recently.
Really?
Yeah. She saw him
Must have been right before us. Right before Sacramento then.
No, it seemed like a while ago. So
Really?
maybe like the last tour.
Oh. They went through a whole Canada tour. Just they crossed the entire thing.
Canada tour.
Canada tour.
I'm a connoisseur of Canada tours.
Yeah, and then they came down, and I think they started in L.A. maybe. Oh, I don't really know their tour. It was like their 6th show when we interviewed them, but it was over pretty quickly. I don't know if they're still on tour or what's going on, but we.
Sorry.
My microphone's on.
Yeah.
It is.
I think.
Sorry.
He's
Anyway,
good.
back to.
No, I
Another
forgot.
tour?
That was I was trying to think of what I was saying. But we talked a lot about Canadian bands, and some of my favorite bands actually come out of Canada. Like Protest the Hero is definitely
They're really good.
huge in my collection of metal, and yeah, I didn't even know they were from Canada until about their 3rd album. I was like, oh, what? That makes so much sense.
I like
They're
how the new
really
one-
good.
The new album has a song about Newfoundland.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
the new album's great.
It's amazing, yeah.
They get better and better.
I think it's the best one they've done. It's my favorite
yeah.
over the others, but I didn't really like Skrullos. Whatever.
Hmm?
Skrullos. The one I can't pronounce. After Fortress.
After Fortress.
Before
Yeah,
Evolution.
Kazia or Kazaya, whatever way they say it, Fortress, and then
Skrillex. The
Yeah,
album's
they have an album called Skrillex.
Yeah, that's where he got his name. Yeah, that was one of my favorite albums this year, Evolution.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think I saw you post something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Post a lot of things.
I'm-
The worst.
I stalk you.
I'm pretty stocky.
No, and Katie and I talk about this all the time. I was like, I think Daniel and I can be best friends.
You guys talk about that too?
Yeah.
All right. Katie said she's going to let this happen naturally. I want us to be man bros. What did I say?
Bromance.
Bromance.
Bromance? I
wanna-
think we can
I wanna
do
take
that.
it to a whole nother level.
You hear that, people?
Mhm.
This is going to happen.
This is hetero guy love. It's just guy love between two guys.
I don't remember that song.
Well, I mean,
That's all I remember too.
because when you were on our show, we talked about all our podcasts that we listen to. I was like, I have all of those on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you do your metal show, which when I found that out, I was like, that's awesome. That's basically our show, except for ours is not as big and not on a big website for the school or anything. But no, that. But that,
What show are you talking about?
But that was fun, and yeah. So it's like, and when I found out that you were going to Doug Loves Movies, I was not more jealous over anybody in my whole life.
Take that, people that win the lottery, who could easily just buy the tickets.
But it's like, it's not about being able to afford them, because I could have gone, but I was doing all kinds of stuff, and I was like, no, I really want to go, but I think I was preoccupied with like 4 different jobs that I was trying to complete and stuff, and I was like, I really want to go. But then I found out that you were into it. I was like, okay, so I can definitely go with Katie. That was never a problem. But now, like, all of us can go, and we can all have like super tons of fun, and then
Super tons.
and then Katie can get really jealous when we disappear into the sunset together.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is gonna happen too. Do you want to go out on a pair of burrows or one micro dunk? It's a miniature donkey.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's a donkey.
Oh, I thought that was just like a
No, it's a type of
smaller black woman ass.
We could, I suppose, we could ride a black lady out in the sunset. Is she gonna like become part of our thing?
Ooh, yeah.
Sweet.
Can she have a big Mexican mustache?
Yes. And.
Yes, and. No, I'm more of a no butt kind of guy.
I'm a butt kind of guy too.
See, this is why we're gonna be best friends.
It's true. It's true.
Katie, I'm sorry.
We'll exchange numbers and dick pics after this.
It's like a calling card. It's tattooed via Photoshop on the veins of the dick.
Yeah, like on the side of mine, it's got my phone number. It's got 908 on one side, on the other side, it's got the other part, and then over here, because I'm on the firm, it says the last digit.
Just one digit.
Yeah, because I got 3 on each side, and then I've got the last one. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Oh, worse, I got to find a spot for the area code.
Well, yeah, if you go internationally, you got to put a 1 on it.
God damn it.
You're gonna have to get more work
I don't
done.
even like needles. Gotta go back.
Oh,
Gotta get it
man.
removed and put
Don't
back
like
on.
needles, but you got one on your dick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst spot.
Man.
That is the worst.
Wait, is
What
the
about
dick
eyelids?
worse or balls? Which one would be worse?
Probably balls.
Probably balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eyelids
Probably
maybe.
balls. They would probably bleed a lot more. That's for sure.
That's the like worst image ever.
But you guys, what if after you get the tattoo, it dyes the color of your semen?
And then swart.
Then you can be part of a choir show.
I think we can
Yeah!
get out of
I'm talented in my own way.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Totally. I'm in.
We just gotta make a phone call. Do I still have it? I don't have their 2M's number anymore. Shit. Should save those. So, Katie, what have you been up to?
Honestly, that's it.
I think we just replay exactly everything I said.
Yeah, because we've been spending a lot of time together.
Don't tell people that.
Sorry, you ashamed of me?
No.
No.
No. No, but we have. And I mean, it's been fun because you've been working with me a lot.
Yeah.
And helping me out and kind of being a secretary, which has been
Yeah. Sorry,
very,
he
very
stole me
nice.
from that job I was supposed to be.
I didn't-
Yeah,
No,
you did it. By the way,
she
she did a
volunteered.
terrible job for me.
No, I didn't.
Well, yeah.
When we actually hung out, I was a very good secretary.
But now
And she
like,
can't
Katie,
hold a mic and take notes.
Right. So by giving you a promotion from secretary to on-air talent, I lost your services.
Yeah, you did.
Shit.
You lost your humility.
Oh.
By
What?
giving you humanity, you lost your humility.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vicinity.
You're like, I'm too
obscenity,
big
man.
to take notes.
Sure.
Too famous.
Sure.
She's Katie Lady Meow Meow from the BLIPcast, though. Don't you know?
Yeah. So.
Don't you know who I is? Is that you getting to clubs?
She ain't got no good grammar, no, either. Ain't got no good grammar.
I
You
ain't
got the
time
country
for that
grammar.
shit.
Do you make a list? I ain't got things I ain't got time for.
Yes.
Shit. Number 1.
Number 1
Mhm.
and last.
And last.
And second.
Every single one of them.
It's still a long list, though. You think you could save time and space?
It's like
but it's
Santa's naughty list.
Yes. So only shit has been bad. I'm very confused.
Yeah.
not- Was the naughty list really that long in Elf? Remember, I
Um,
saw the list a couple times, but
in Elf, it's a book, isn't it?
I thought it was a list because they keep referring to. Well,
Yeah, but it's like I don't know.
Probably. Then.
I've seen that movie a billion times. I don't know why.
I saw it once,
can't
and we made
recall
a
it.
drinking game out of it, so I don't remember a lot of the actual imagery of it. But I remember enjoying the movie a lot.
What were the rules?
One was anytime Buddy eats something he's not supposed to,
Mm.
which we counted his breakfast as something he's not supposed to eat because
Mhm.
it was spaghetti and like cereal and syrup.
Yeah.
Syrup.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of syrup.
Anytime the list is mentioned, anytime the Christmas spirit is mentioned, and anytime Buddy goes Santa.
So you got about 5 minutes in.
I was very drunk again. Actually, what the best drinking game I've ever done that is kind of fucked up was when was this? This is last January. Me and some friends started playing a drinking game to Django Unchained, and how I may have talked about it on the show, but
I don't think on the show. You told me about it.
Yeah.
Though.
No, I think I heard about it on the show.
Really?
I listened
probably
to
like
your
episode 2
I
or 3.
listened to your show.
You probably listened to like one episode.
It was
I
episode
got
2,
lucky
so
with
yeah.
that one.
Yeah. So anytime the N-word was said, we took a drink, and we were drinking with wine. We got 40 minutes in and had to stop.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yep.
That's like watching Pulp Fiction, and every time they say fuck.
Dude. I wonder if that's on a official drinking game list.
I'm sure that's probably why I've heard of it. I know I've heard of it somewhere. Yeah, that's bad memories.
You remember those? That's good.
Memories. Well, I remember. Okay, so I know where the blank spots are. Let's just say that. It's like when you're watching a videotape and you see like a fuzz or a blank spot. I know where those are.
Oh, cool. But what happened with fuzzes? You gotta not know.
Yeah.
I actually see that list on the floor over there.
Mhm.
That was a friend and I watching The Simpsons, and every one of those is a list to take a sip. And it's just basically references at some point, but there's 50 things.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
But per episode, there's maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that big a deal, but apparently I like drinking games.
Because what's more fun than having something tell you to drink?
Yeah, right? Because if it's out of my hands, it's not a problem.
Right.
Exactly.
Or is
Right.
it, where's it a problem?
You can blame it on something.
Right.
Mm.
I have to.
You have to. Yeah. It was the damn Simpsons again.
Marge got me drunk again. She just kept groaning. Homie. Worse Marge.
Oh, Marge. Is there a adult drinking game?
No, that was one of the things.
That was one of the
one of the
things.
rules, yeah.
That'll get you drunk.
Mm-hmm.
That by itself. I see you have a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes, I have the first 5 seasons on the Universal discs.
I love that show.
I just started watching 8 and 9.
Yeah.
I started 9
Eight
last night.
is great. I haven't gotten to 9.
8's good, yeah. I wound up really enjoying 8. Somewhere along the line I dropped off. And
I dropped off at like season 3.
I think
season 4 is my favorite episode. Katie,
I'm sorry. I have a lot of stuff I need to catch up on.
you do.
We have like 15 things that we.
I mean, how do
have
you know
decided
how
I
the
need to
gang
watch.
solves the gas crisis? You don't. They do, though.
Have I seen that episode actually?
Is that the one with the wild card? Because it is. Wild card, bitches! And he jumps out of the van.
I don't know.
I'm a wild card.
I know how to count.
The title
liquid.
sounds really familiar, but I don't know.
The titles are great.
Mhm.
The titles are amazing. It's like that's a punchline to the opening joke.
Yes.
That doesn't happen very often.
Yes.
Add that to the list of the reasons why Daniel sucks.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Although that really
this
only
one.
started because we were doing like
Does you suck?
top 5s of the year, and one of his guests didn't bring.
Oh, she's moving in already? Ah, snap, son.
What's
You
mine
better get
is-
them bath towels.
What's mine is yours and what's yours is yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm going to get you guys
so-
monogram towels. Actually, we're going to say D and D, and then you'll know you're out.
Oh.
His and other his towels. I'll be other his.
Oh, whatever. I mean, I've been known to be on the bottom. Not really.
What were you
No.
actually saying, Katie?
One of his guests.
Segues are fun.
Yes, they are, and you love talking over me. Love it. Okay. One of his guests didn't bring one of the top 5 lists that he was supposed to. Okay. Apparently, it still picks you up when you're like down here. So.
Like how?
He didn't bring a top 5 list, so he decided to make one up, and it was about how top 5 reasons why Dan sucks, and it was pretty funny.
That sparked the title,
Yeah.
but
Everyone
everyone
was
just
making
kind
fun
of
of you.
just started
Yeah,
saying it.
it's true.
Yeah, check that out on YouTube next week and see how much I suck. But yeah, it's more of a gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't suck too bad.
No, you don't. Pretty cool.
We'll check the.
I was kidding.
We'll
Thanks,
check the
though.
comments on this episode when it goes up, and we'll see about that.
If we get any emails,
your-
20 emails.
The first one where we just get nothing but negative feedback.
Your guest this week was really awkward and weird and brown.
We've had a brown guest.
Have you?
Have we?
Yeah,
Who?
Ryan.
Ryan does not.
He kind of counts. He counts about as much as he does. He's only half.
Oh, okay.
Half
I say
brown.
you're racially ambiguous.
see.
Are you
Yeah.
like a Rashida Jones?
I wish I was as beautiful as Rashida Jones.
You're almost there.
Thanks, other his. But I mean, we had fun.
Mhm.
I'm pretty used to being the butt of every joke.
Yeah. Thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Hi,
That's
Terry.
that's my cinematographer.
Oh, okay.
So, pretty much.
Do all your friends have titles?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do they?
I think so. I don't think you know any people that are just like friends to you.
Everyone works for you.
I'm pretty sure it's true.
You do want to be Hardwick.
My life
All your
i-
friends work for you.
My life is work. I like to think of it as working together.
All right. On your goal.
Well, I
This
mean,
might be a reason you suck.
it's definitely a reason I suck. I mean, I think that's kind of where the core of it comes from, because before this, I was just I was the token Mexican, basically, because I'm friends with nothing but white people too. So I mean,
It's pretty great, right? Feel safe.
yeah. I mean, I pick up grammar lessons, and I learn how to keep my credit score up, and I learn a lot of racial slurs, actually.
We're really good at them.
Yeah?
The collective Caucasian people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Republicans. Yeah, so, but I think everybody does have a title. Because
I'm
even the
pretty
ones that I don't give titles to, they're still like girlfriends or boyfriends of one of them.
And and even if I don't know, even if they're not working for you, they're still like doing their own thing. So like you're only friends with almost famous people, or like people who have things going for them. I think that's kind of funny.
I'll be a first. I won't have a title, and I'm not going anywhere.
No, you have a title. You're
What's my title?
the co-host of BLIPcast.
But my title to you. Because once we begin our bromance, I mean, husband's
Yeah.
going to look pretty good on a card, but
Yeah,
Well,
you're his husband. Husband lover.
husband, I like lover. Lover's sexy.
Plus we don't have to get the government involved.
Fucking government. I don't know. You'll definitely be bestie. That's a good
I always
title.
want to be a bestie.
I don't know. We'll think of something. That's how I don't see. Your name is Daniel.
I'm already off to a good start.
Yeah. So what else are we supposed to do? I mean, that's a title on its own. It's like Peter Hardwick. It's just the other guy. Peter Hardwick was old Chris Hardwick before he got skinny.
Oh, okay.
That's Peter Hardwick, the drunk one.
I see.
About what? He just had his 10-year in sobriety. God, that's a long time. Yeah, no, but and people hear me talk about Hardwick quite often, but he's definitely a big idol of mine. Almost everything I do is Hardwick-esque.
You're a copier. I'm trying to break him of that.
Yeah, after this, there's gonna be a after show
Okay.
that I'm gonna host.
Okay.
Talking blip.
The fact that you made a joke about it is a Chris Hardwick joke.
Yep, exactly.
Are you just going to get the logo right here and make your Adam's apple the little asterisk in it?
Yes,
You
the
good.
butthole with the line out the side.
Although the thing is, I have a very specific rule. I don't trust people with neck tattoos.
I don't. Okay,
They can't be
see,
trusted.
We actually had this conversation.
What?
I'm pretty sure we had this conversation.
Me and
about
you?
neck tattoos. Yeah.
yeah, I hate them.
Throat tats can't be trusted. Nope.
Or chest tattoos are the
Mhm.
most. It can be they're like a woman's body could be perfect. I see a chest tattoo. I'm like, nope. Leslie, nope. P's and Q's and T's.
A friend of mine had live across his chest with like it was like a beautiful calligraphy font and had like a bunch of flowers and shit around it. And I would always give him shit for it because it popped out of his shirt and I was always really distracted. I'm like, dude, just right here, I want you to get Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if he ever did. I stopped talking to him, so I think I'm better off. Am I still friends with? No, I'm not friends with him on Facebook, so he won't see this.
Oh.
I have to think about it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's just why?
Yeah.
Why? Well, one of my first guests on our podcast, which hopefully she won't listen, has a chest tattoo, but she knows I don't like them, so we'll see.
That'll show her.
Yeah, that'll show her. No,
She'll
but
listen to
she's.
this somehow and be like, oh.
I mean, yeah, but she's one of our biggest fans. So I mean, I love her to death, but at the same time, it's like, chest tattoo. Come on, girl.
Come on, girl.
Come on, girl. Yeah. We're having fun.
Speaking of fun, Katie, do you have anything to teach us this week?
I do.
Which is weird. We did a show last week, did a show this week. It's almost like we're doing fucking weekly shit again.
It's pretty crazy.
Probably not doing anything next week.
Or the week after. You're like,
I
we did
want-
2 in a row.
I wound up actually doing stuff for once. So I was like, I've got stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. You want it? We can try.
I don't.
Oh,
think
fair.
I'm
We'll
gonna.
figure it. We'll figure it out.
Well, I'll have Psych Anime to talk about. So.
Oh, we're doing a show next week.
Okay. Anyway, so
Okay.
the word of the episode is magic. This is backlogged from like 15 episodes ago, like 2, but 15.
You're bad at math.
I am.
Or numbers.
I can't
That's-
math.
Both.
That's barely math. Just knowing numbers.
Math isn't math shapes now
I think so.
and letters?
Hope so. It's just symbols.
Gross.
Math. Okay, so in French it is la magie.
La magie.
La magie.
La magie.
This is magic.
Yes. As I said.
As she said 2 to 15 minutes ago.
But I forgot.
And in Japanese it's tejina.
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 What? Wait, what?
Tejina.
Tejina?
Tejina.
All right. Tejina.
Okay.
Worth it.
So the fact is a little bit weird, and it's kind of just like, hey, here's a thing that happened. So on April 2008, in Kinshasa, which is in Africa, the police arrested 14 suspected victims of penis snatching, and sorcerers accused of using black magic or witchcraft to steal / make disappear or shrink men's penises to extort cash for cure amid a wave of panic.
Cure what?
I'm sorry. Isn't that called
Shrinking
the internet?
Yes.
Okay.
Really cure?
This was just like in real life. What?
Cure?
I have no idea.
Like grind it for its powers?
I
and then
guess.
Wait,
No, I mean like
what if the penis itself cured AIDS?
I think what it means is like they shrunk
Clearly it doesn't. Spreads it.
they shrunk they shrunk penises. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like they had a penis party and like they were ashamed of the size of their penises and
So they shrunk them.
no, so they blamed people for casting magic on their penises, and then I have no idea. This
I
is-
thought you meant they sat them on a couch and asked how they felt about things.
Yes. Yes.
Bad.
Yes, Dan.
Bad joke.
Terrible joke.
You're a comedian. Professional comic.
Oh, and then
No, you can't be surprised by your own facts. You're supposed to be a well of all knowledge. You're like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't know this. You did.
no, I forgot.
The illusion, Katie.
Sorry.
You're not
12
sorry.
of them were beaten to death by mobs. 12 of the witches who shrunk the penises.
Good.
Yes.
I'm sure that would happen today.
Well, it happened in 2008, so it's kind of like today.
They said 88.
No.
Okay.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
So that doesn't surprise me then.
Still really fucked up.
Because people care way too much about their penis.
Sorry. Do you not care about your penis?
Not really.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
kind of there.
I like peeing standing up. That's about it, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you prefer a vagina over a penis?
No, with vagina comes periods.
Yeah. That's true.
No, I don't really like having like such a sensitive area outside of my body with my balls. But I like peeing standing up, and I like not having a period. So
Yeah.
So if I can pull it in and out of my body, that might be cool.
The retractable penis.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna go like this and it just sucks up.
Yep.
That's cool.
That
Yeah.
would be cool.
You flat like
But-
Ken most of the time unless you have to use it.
All right.
So,
So like most mammals.
instead of being
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Okay.
Instead of when flaccid just kind of hangs there, it's just like in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just
Why does it just have to hang there?
I don't know.
I know, get a jaw, dick. Come on. Just hanging around doing nothing.
Lazy.
Lazy penis. All right, so my recommendation for this episode is actually a new podcast to the Maximum Fun Network called Song Exploder. It's this guy that makes music, and on his show, I don't remember his name, which is messed up, but on his show, he interviews musicians, and they play a song of theirs, and then they go through and they break down different layers of it and how they came to do it and stuff like that. Like the first episode is a Postal Service song. I didn't think I'd be that interested in a Postal Service song, but it's fascinating when they just like isolate Jenny Lewis's voice and
Yeah.
make this loop. And so if you're a nerd about like layering and music recording like I am, it's fucking awesome. Because it is.
That reminds me of when I don't forget who did it. I think it's on YouTube where they isolated the lead singer from
Oh, you're
Smash
talking about
Mouth.
Dave's Like These?
Is that it?
Dave's Like These is
Yes,
the name of
it's so amazing. I can't stop listening to it.
the episode. It is Dave whatever from Smash Mouth and
Yeah.
then David Lee Roth from Van
Yeah.
Halen.
It's so great. It's two of the most ridiculous frontmen in the world.
California's got sunshine.
Yeah. I can't do David Lee Roth.
On every other Jonah radio it comes on.
Yeah, I think that's where I heard it first, and they have so much fun with it. I had to look it up, and I can't stop listening to
Love
it.
It's wonderful. There's actually another really good isolated vocal track. It's Mike Patton from Faith No More doing Epic.
Mhm.
It's just like, what is it?
Yeah.
And it sounds really,
Well,
really weird.
his voice is also ridiculous.
Yes, absolutely. Like he's since kind of calmed it down as far as being like sounding like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, in the early '90s, I don't know why he went that direction.
It's just like a lead singer from the B-52s. If you were to isolate him, it'd sound like he was at a Holocaust rally.
And
It's terrible.
But it's true.
actually, when I saw Faith No More live, the guy that opened for them was Jello Biafra from Dead Kennedys.
Really?
Who sounds just
No,
like
they're
Fred Schneider.
they're basically the same
Yes,
people. Yeah.
and I didn't see. They started playing, and they played for about a half hour before I realized who he was, because I'm not a punk fan. I don't know Dead
Yeah.
Kennedys, and then they did Holiday in Cambodia, and I went, oh,
Yeah.
But the
I-
whole time I'm like, is this Fred Schneider in a punk band?
Yeah. No, they're compared all the time. Yeah, I'm not the biggest British punk fan, but I like American punk a lot. So that's who the Greenery is, and around here there's the Secretions, been around forever.
Danny Secretion trained me at KSSU. He's the one that I had to learn from.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The dude, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny's cool. He's he was definitely the most out there dude on stage. The guitarist was like dying from alcohol poisoning while the bassist was running around being a goofball. But Danny was cool.
That's about right.
Yeah.
So, guys, is that the show?
I
Is
think
that
so.
Is our effing dope?
Are we done already?
Maybe
That
we
was
keep
sh-
going.
No, I mean I'm just saying that
Probably
probably.
the longest episode we've ever done.
No, that still goes to, I think, Jackie's last episode.
Really? How
that,
long was it?
That was hour 15.
Oh, all right.
How long are we now?
I got an hour 1 on audio. We're not sure if we were missing like 20 minutes of video.
Well,
though.
let's keep going.
Okay.
It's
I
not.
wanna-
It's not 20 minutes because it just beeped.
Topics.
I want to break this record right in half.
Okay.
I mean, it's only going to take 16 minutes to do it.
That's why I want to break it.
So what do you want to talk about your record-breaking attempt at the Blip record break? Or King
Well,
attempt?
first I want to thank my mom and Jesus for letting me
And
get this
Jesus.
far. Yes,
too.
because Jesus, he died for our sins.
Oh, okay.
Our sins being crack
Okay.
and cocaine.
Wait, those
Oh,
are
okay.
sins?
Um,
I thought those were the body and the blood.
yeah, but if you put them together,
Mhm.
it makes a sin.
Shit. Sorry.
So wait, the body can't have blood.
No,
Oh.
no, they have to be
No,
separate.
We're
Just
all,
We're all
forced
fucked.
Just
drain your blood, people. For Jesus, drain your blood.
well, that's why Jesus died. I thought.
Yeah, that's why he got his hands pierced. He was like, "Get out of here,
Yeah.
stigmata! Out of here! Out of here! The blood of Christ compels you."
It's not very compelling.
It's not. It's kind of boring. The only interesting part of that was Nine Inch Nails, the band. Which leads me to my favorite joke of all time. Who am I? I'm Jesus chewing his nails. A friend of mine told me that in high school, and it stuck with me, and it's...
That's amazing.
My favorite joke is one that my producer Jeremy told. He always tells when he's drunk. Is a little girl and a clown are walking through a cemetery, and the little girl says, "I'm scared." The clown says, "You're scared. I gotta walk out of here alone."
Jeez.
That is my favorite joke that I will tell, no matter who tells it.
What?
Well, because it's been told to me several
if I
times.
tell it and someone else tells it, we're gonna tell it at the same time.
Yeah.
And then it's good.
That makes no sense. I realize that.
Unless you think you have multiple personalities, or you do.
Well,
All your friends who have job titles are actually in your head.
They are.
Cool.
I have podcasting me, and I have sit in the corner and talk to nobody me. Those are my two personalities. I talk to the world, or I talk to nobody.
Come to think of it, when we did MHCP, it was just the three of us in a room, and you did the other people's voices instead. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but they were really convincing.
Well, to you, they're different. To you, they're just me, but to me, they're channeled.
How do you get them to talk
They're
over
channeled.
each other?
Jesus.
That guy can do everything.
You can do
He
everything.
can walk on water. He can surf, even though he doesn't need to. He can fly a hoverboard. He can do other things that
Hey,
require going on water.
Speaking of, we're
What?
2 years from hoverboards?
Apparently, yeah. Next year.
Oh, next year we're 1 year.
2015.
It's the second. It's 2014.
Mm-hmm.
My
2
bad.
days in, you can be confused. For
My
another
bad. Yeah, I got how many? I got 3 more days to be confused.
Yeah, you can write the wrong date for the next couple of weeks, and after that, you're an idiot.
Today I was writing the date on a couple sheets, and I wrote the year. I wrote
writing homework.
yes. I wrote 1, 12, 14, and I was like, where did I get that 12 from? Is it because the second? No, I put a 12 because I thought it was 2012, and I was like,
Where's the 14?
I was like, what? I don't know. I was very confused.
Well, a couple days ago at work, I wrote 3/30/11.
3/30/11.
So March 30th, 2011. And then I stopped and stared at it, and I was like, not even close. I was looking at hoping for the past.
That's like all the Twilight Zone episodes. Nice try, asshole. That's basically every Twilight Zone episode ever made.
Mm-hmm.
The only episode of that show I saw was late 90s, I think, and it was this guy went to a planet, or woke up on a planet that was all women,
Yeah.
and he was just like going
Ryzen.
around doing all their tasks. What?
Ryza?
I don't know.
No.
But he woke
Star
up there.
Trek ref.
Yeah, exactly.
So he woke up, he was doing a bunch of stuff for them, and then for some reason he had to be put to death. And as he was being put to death, this woman opens up a lock and it's got his picture. And she had it the whole time.
Dun dun dun. Nice try, asshole.
There. We can just do Twilight episodes now.
Twilight episodes? So
Twilight episodes.
New Moon, when they're like, I'm a wolf, and she's like, I'm a lady, and he's like, I want to fuck you, but I don't know if doing a wolf form or human form. She's like, both.
Yes.
That's Twilight New Moon, right?
Because sparkles give me boners.
Mm-hmm. I call my boner sparkles. Because they glitter? Are they like kind of like little shiny dots on them? That's probably okay, right?
If you spend enough time in a strip club, it's normal.
Are they different every time?
No.
Because you said boners, like they were different or multiple.
Sorry. I guess. Roommates home.
Roommates.
Edit point.
Edit point. See how my penis and sparkles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got 10 more minutes to break.
Okay. So, your unicorn you call Sparkles. How big? Or am I going to find out later?
Are you asking me how big my penis is?
Yes.
It's very
Let's
large.
see. Probably about that big.
He's measuring my gaping mouth.
Big enough. Gaping mouth.
It gapes.
Is have a lockjaw with it open. Perfect.
Yeah, I had these wires installed,
Mhm.
so when I open wide enough, it just locks into place.
Are you a snake?
Yeah,
Completely.
basically.
Slightly related now. When I was at the Academy of Sciences, there was this
Callback.
pair of scientists that were just carting a snake around, and you could pet the snake. And I actually used to be really afraid of snakes. I pet that fucking snake.
I like snakes.
But can we isolate that and make it a loop?
I pet that fucking
Okay.
snake.
Yeah.
I pet that fucking snake. But while I was like waiting behind a line of children to touch a snake, which
Can we
Which
stop
also-
right there?
which
Can we
al-
stop right there?
I got up to the front of the line. I had already finished, and there was a guy there who had a snake skull in a box. He's like, "You know what kind of snake skull this is?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Look at it. Is it poisonous or non-poisonous?" I was like, "It's got fangs. Poisonous?" He's like, "Yeah." So what about this one? He gave me two options. Non-poisonous. Yeah. And he started teaching me about how they unhinge their jaws the whole time. I was just like, I just want to pet the snake. Why are you talking to me? Like, why is this whole thing? I'm clearly not interested. And you want to be teaching this to the children who are here to learn, not the weird adults
So
that are bored.
did he mistake you for a 12-year-old?
I'm short, but I'm also like covered in hair though. I'd be a hairy ass. How old did you give me? How old did you generously give me? 2 years?
12.
12? All right.
Yeah, 12.
I had a beard at 15, so I weren't far off, I guess.
Well, it's like those Little League players that have all the facial hair and are badasses at 12
Mhm.
years old. It's like, hey, my name's
That doesn't
Fred.
happen.
You mean dwarfs?
Yeah, and Smaug.
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 You were talking about Schmaug?
We were talking about Smaug.
Oh, okay.
You talked about Smaug.
Well, because he didn't want to see it, so we just kind of like. Actually, did Kyle see it?
I don't know. I
Did
don't
that
think,
happen? That happened during Kyle's like episode, but
I think discussing it. Did we
Yeah.
ever figure out what they spend their gold on? That might be a callback to like the first episode.
Strippers.
no, because it's we figured out the dragons just like gold, like they're greedy ass motherfuckers, and they just like to lay and bathe in gold. So they don't spend it on anything.
So their spirit animal is
Scrooge McDuck?
Scrooge McDuck.
Yes.
Yeah. That look right there was
Did you,
changed.
did you already make that joke before?
No,
Oh.
just the love that was.
When we
there.
made eye contact, there's a little heart that.
Yeah.
Just like, bing.
Exactly.
Katie, this is your fault.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Good job, Katie.
So where do you want to move
You're
to?
welcome.
Well, the Bahamas are nice.
Do they have a good music scene though? I mean, we kind of got to think about that.
Ooh.
Just for the sake of both
Okay.
things, we got to like.
So I want to move to LA for a little bit, and
yeah, they got a
I
great
want
comedy scene. They got
to
a great comedy scene.
yeah, and I want to spend some time, get an apartment for a little bit, and just work on my comedy.
Mhm.
And I will support you in whatever you want to do.
Thanks. I really need that
Yeah.
because like just need a support foundation to get going on what I want to do. I just want to like write things. I think it'd be easier to talk to people and write
Okay.
about things like shows and stuff. We were in LA, so it's probably good for that.
Jesus Christ.
And then once we get our career going, I want to settle somewhere in Oregon and grow my beard out and hang with the locals.
Mm-hmm.
Make tea. I want my own tea shop.
Mm. It's funny. I have a beard. I like tea, and I've been. People can like. This one guy recently was like, "You from Portland?" I was like, "No." It's like, I've never been. It's like you have to go there. Look at you. I was wearing a plaid shirt at the time. Like, yes.
Yep. But I mean, that's California now too. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just kind of everywhere.
yeah, it really is. It's stylish.
I didn't mean to be styling. I just hate shaving. And I didn't want to wear a full-on hoodie.
I mean, the people watching this on YouTube, this is a lazy. This is nothing else but lazy.
How long has that lazy been going for?
A few weeks.
Too long.
How long?
A few weeks.
About a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not bad for a month. Could fill in.
No. It's more like it grew up here and went down and just kind of covered it.
Yeah,
It's like a
calm down.
blanket.
Yeah, it's calm down.
Yeah, exactly. I do not grow facial hair pretty well.
No.
Very
I still
well.
like it. But
Do you?
It's not very like full.
I think about shaving it ever since that one day, which is like 3-4 days ago when my razor broke. And
Yeah.
I'm like, now I just want to shave it now that it's broken. But like
That'll show the razor.
I'm sure that once I fix it, I'm gonna be like, well, no, I want to keep it. But
Well, that's why I said do it in layers.
well, okay. So here's a story. Today, I was working and I'm a vendor, so I was at Target, and a Mexican guy came up to me and just started speaking Spanish, and I said, what? And he goes, oh, and he switched to English. And I go, I think I just got racially profiled by my own people.
Do you not speak Spanish?
No, I don't. But I mean,
¿Por qué no?
Because I grew up here. And
Está very. I can't say embarrassing in Spanish.
embarrassingo.
Yeah,
No,
I
mean,
embarrassimo.
in my dad speaks Spanish fluently, so do my grandparents, but like the other side of my family, my mom, they don't speak anything but English, so it's, I don't know, I was never taught. And I mean, I took Spanish in high school, so I can understand a lot of it, but he spoke so fast, I was like, what? I actually said it just like that. I was like, that's the only time I've ever said something like that to somebody speaking Spanish. I go, I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. Usually is what I say. But no, this time I was very confused, and I was confused on the fact of whether I should be offended or not. It's like, should I be offended at that? I mean, I get it. I look Mexican, and I am Mexican, and I should speak Spanish, but I don't. So, how do I feel about that? Can you guys help me with that?
Can help you to how to feel about your racial.
Yeah.
I've really never had that problem.
No shit,
What?
Katie.
But I've never been like, nobody's ever spoken like French or
Where have
or
you gone where people
Swedish to
would
me.
default
I
to
don't know.
Yeah.
French?
No, I know, but I mean, like, there's a Russian or anything like that. No, actually, that did actually happen.
Somebody spoke Russian to you?
When I was training at another store, one of the people in Sacramento spoke Russian to me, and I didn't know how to respond. I was like, what the
Are those
fuck?
lazy finger quotes?
No, this
Oh.
is just me speaking because I'm bad at it.
And things.
Yep.
No, I mean, that doesn't make sense to me, but I get it.
Yeah.
Because, not to be general, even though
Uh-oh.
we're talking about stereotyping, but
This is gonna be our second edit.
there's a lot of Russian people that work at Walmarts, especially in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
totally.
Cool. Didn't know.
I actually wrote a joke today about how to describe Walmart
Did we just
for your
name-
joke.
Did we
Half
just
of
name
your-
drop where you actually work after looting for it for months?
I
Have you
think
never
it's-
said it?
I think
I
it's
don't-
been name dropped.
Oh, okay.
You said it
But-
right. I didn't say it right.
No, you said it.
Did I say it first?
I think so. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Um,
I thought we never said it, but I could be wrong.
I think we said it once, and I may have edited it out, but I don't think you did.
I didn't know I was supposed to. Well. Anyway,
Anyway.
you're in trouble now.
Well, I was thinking about it today because I worked 2 Walmarts, and I wrote on how to. I wrote a very nerdy joke on how to describe it. It's a big blue box where when you enter, time and space does not exist. No, it's not the TARDIS, you fucking nerds.
It's good.
I actually, I'm working on it still. I wrote it this morning, but now I feel bad.
It's okay. I'll let it out. I'll make sure it ends.
Okay.
I will try to remember. Text me.
Well, it's just
Okay.
like when I talked about how Katie and Zach work at the fruit stand selling pineapples and peaches, but not apples.
Not apples.
They don't sell apples.
Fuck apples.
Not at that fruit stand.
What?
Yeah. Where Matt Myra used to work,
Yeah.
the fruit stand.
Ah, I see. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. And where Spencer Crittenton works at. If you listen to Harmontown.
I don't.
Harmontown's great.
Good things.
SF Sketchfest, we are going to see Harmontown.
Cool.
You don't know who they are either.
Nope.
But they are great.
I know Dan Harmon. That's
Dan
about
Harmon
it.
is, and he's obviously, it's his podcast and he's the star of it.
Mm.
Every show is live. They have it's a town hall meeting basically in Harmontown, and they have local regulars that come up on stage and kind of barge their way on stage, and they get made fun of and are kind of clowns of the village, and it's quite interesting. Here I am plugging another podcast that isn't this one. I'm really
discussed all the podcasts.
I'm really bad at that
Yeah.
though. That's all I do on all these podcasts because that's all I do is I don't listen to radio. I don't really listen to music while I'm working. I do at home, but not while I'm working. And I listen to podcasts.
I just commute and listen to the podcast.
pretty much.
What else are you seeing at Sketchfest?
Oh, we are seeing 3 things, but I want to get into a 4th. Coming up January 24th, we are going to see Star Talk Live.
Cool.
With Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, and Eugene Merman. They might have another guest, I'm not sure. It's San Francisco, they'll probably have somebody.
Merman will probably bring a comedian friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
it's usually
true.
Kristen Shaw. Not a bad thing.
No, that was great. Actually, we saw her at Comic-Con, and she was adorable. She was a cute little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, oh, yeah, I'm prissy and whatever, but she's hilarious.
Next we'll talk about her taint.
Yes, exactly. And then on February 4th or 7th, we are going to see, I think that one is Nerdist.
The 7th.
7th, yes, we're going to see Nerdist. That, they have not announced their guest, but they'll probably have a big guest there.
They usually don't until day
Really?
of, do they?
It's usually like a couple days before.
Okay.
But yeah, I know Comic-Con, I didn't hear about their guest until maybe a week before, and that was Matt Smith.
Right.
But that was fun. And then we're going to see Harmontown. That's right.
Yeah, cool.
I want to say that's like the 4th or something. But the 4th one that I wanted to go see is the Coco Live crew, which is Conan O'Brien. I don't think he's going to be there, but all his crew is going to be there. I think that one is headed by his announcer. What's his name?
Nope.
Andy Richter.
Yeah,
And
it'll probably have Richter and Pardo.
I think Richter is, Richter, Pardo are the 2 main guys, but Ron will be there. Ron Funches will be there. So go see him because he's hilarious.
Love Ron Funches.
And I'm going to try to get an interview with him.
Cool.
On my new podcast.
Very cool.
So
I'm going to try and
check
hit
that
Nerdist.
Yes.
Next day we'll have JJ Go, and then that afternoon Doug Benson, Interruption of New Moon.
Oh, I saw that.
So I'm gonna try
It's
and
gonna be
like
fun.
go that night, stay overnight, do a couple things, head out in the afternoon after
Yeah.
Benson. So haven't bought a single ticket yet though. I'm hoping those to be available still on Thursday, payday.
Yeah.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, I definitely spent a lot of money because those were, I think they were released on payday.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, here goes my paycheck, and I'm ready for it. But it's like, that's one of those things that I'm not hesitant to spend my money on. It's like, I'll go broke to see that kind of stuff. I don't even care. That's my life and passion. So that's where I learn. That's my school, even though I go to school.
You do.
That's
You
my
double school.
I double school.
You're like a double major person.
Pretty much. I'm
What's wrong with this shoe?
being booted.
Is that my wire?
Oh.
I didn't. Sorry. Maybe.
That's why I was kicking you. I wouldn't just kick
Add
you.
that to the list of why Daniel sucks.
Because he steps on wires.
On Katie's wires.
Oh. It's pretty fucked up.
Thank you for watching, folks. We now have a new longest episode.
Yay.
You can email us, blipcast@gmail.com. We're on the Facebook, Twitter, all at blipcast. And also follow the MHCP podcast on the Facebookings and the Twips and iTunes. What are you doing? No, you can do stuff. I'm at Overcord, Lady Laumes. What are you at? Yeah. We're going to soon have our own Twitter account. It's going to be one by both of us. Be called Dan and Dan Love.
Dan and Dan Love. And, Ningayo definitely commented on that.
Yeah, that's funny, on
No.
Instagram.
I am at Dan Otage on Instagram, on Twitter. You could probably find me on Facebook, but you can find my podcast at tbpstudios.com, which I don't have the domain for, so maybe
Just kidding.
maybe that link will go up later. I would check that, but it will be on the Twitter account, so I will let you know.
Cool. So thank you for watching, listening, and we'll see you in 31.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for being on. It was a grand old time. Goodbye. How am your English? I'm good.
My English is very good.
Yeah, Katie, how's your English?
My English is superior.
Only because you use the word.
Yes.
Just because you use the word superior doesn't mean you're more smarter than we are.
Smartest.
More smartest.
Yeah, most smarter.
Most intelligenter.
Nope.
Yes. Because you're curious.
I just got a text from something saying that they are popcorn. I know what they mean, but it's funny just to read. Go ahead, walk on in. I'm popcorn.
Me too.
You are what you eat. Maybe she just ate a ton of popcorn.
Maybe.
All right, shall we? Katie, I thought you said it looked bad. This looks fantastic. This is like the best it's ever looked.
Okay.
God damn it.
It's probably because we were further back. I don't know. Now that we're all
No,
like
it's 'cause
leaning
you're
in
standing
on
over
it.
there, I think.
Oh, maybe.
I was
saw his
blocking all the
shadow.
light.
You saw his shadow over here.
Just like encompassing us all.
I'm like the moon. Oh yeah, don't shake it a lot. Because if you go like this, it's all picking up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can, if you want to pretend you're strangling a snake at any point, let us know and we'll pause and I can edit it out. Maybe add sound effects. Do you want to be a lion? What animal do you want to be as you strangle a snake?
A Catbox production.